And Phineas Newborn Jr., upon really being directed to change the pronunciation of his name by the business industry, he kind of thought it was great and went with a different pronunciation of his first name than his father. So it's Phineas Newborn, the father, a drummer, and Phineas Newborn Jr., the son, until roughly 1957, and then it's Phineas Newborn Jr. from that point on. So we begin the discography of Phineas Newborn Jr., who was born in Memphis, Tennessee on December 14th of 1931. In his late teens, he began his discography on a record date that also begins the discography of one of the best-known blues singers and guitar players of all time. I'll give you a few seconds of pause. Who can I mean? I can't mean Bessie Smith. She wasn't alive in 49, didn't play much guitar. I'm speaking of B.B. King. And B.B. King's first record date is Phineas Newborn Jr.'s first record date. His older brother Calvin is on guitar. A bass player named Tuff Green is there, and the family is together. The drummer is also Phineas Newborn Sr., the drummer. And this is B.B.'s first session, and it's Phineas Newborn Jr.'s first session. Late 1949. B.B. must have been 24. Phineas was 18. He gets the solo. He gets to really pack some wallop on this record, even though it's B.B.'s deal. I think the guitar solos are by Brother Calvin Newborn, and this is Miss Martha King, and When Your Baby Packs Up and Goes. Phineas Newborn Jr., his first records are also B.B. King's first sides. B.B. King's first record date, also the drummer, his brother, Calvin Newborn, may have played some of the guitar. It seems likely. I also believe he's the trombonist, but I could be wrong about that. The tenor saxophonist is Ben Branch. Tuff Green was on bass, and B.B. King on guitar and vocal. The first title was Miss Martha King. The second was When Your Baby Packs Up and Goes. We're off and running, playing the music of Phineas Newborn Jr. We're hearing his earliest recordings now. In fact, we're hearing all of his recordings in chronological sequence. We're underway with the Phineas Newborn Jr. discography, a 10-hour set that will continue till midnight tonight. And this is the Lost Masters Festival on WKCR FM New York, 89.9 on the dial. Phil Schapp with you. Well, the first record date for Phineas Newborn Jr. was also B.B. King's first record date. Phineas Newborn Jr.'s second record date was B.B. King's second record date, and we're going to hear this session, presumably from 1950, maybe a hair earlier, maybe no later than 1950. And this features Calvin Newborn on guitar, this time soloing. I don't think he takes a trombone solo. We also are going to hear from Tuff Green again on the bass. We'll hear the music of Phineas Newborn Jr., and he plays some nice solos on this. Watch out for him on the BB Boogie. The drummer is in dispute, but there's a possibility, and I'll be asking, I guess, from time to time for extra help from the Newborns, Calvin, and the musicians of Memphis, such as Jamil Nasser, who was here yesterday, whether, they think it's Phineas Newborn Sr. on the drums. In any case, there are four titles: B.B. King, 1950 recordings. I believe the guitar work here is Calvin Newborn and not B.B. King. You can make your own decision about that. Mistreated Woman is the first title. The B.B. Boogie, there's some Phineas Newborn Jr. there that is a mighty burner. The Other Night Blues and Walkin' and Cryin'. B.B. King, 1950, second record date for him, second record date for our focus, Phineas Newborn Jr.
boogie, baby. Do the BB boogie, if it takes you all night long. Well, I looked at the clock said 4. My baby jumped up, she said, B, let's go. Do the BB boogie, baby. BB boogie, darling. Do the BB boogie, if it takes you all night long.
Well, I don't know if I'm offending the fans of B.B. King, but I don't believe B.B.'s the guitar soloist there. I think that's Calvin Newborn playing guitar, and if I get a chance to talk with Calvin Newborn this week about his brother, I'm also going to ask him about the guitar playing on these early B.B. King sides. I believe that it's B.B. King singing, Phineas Newborn Jr. on piano, Calvin Newborn on electric guitar, Tuff Green on bass, and a drummer who might very well be Phineas Newborn Sr., Phineas's father and Calvin's father as well. We heard A Mistreated Woman in the B.B. Boogie. We'll now hear, I believe, a similar ensemble, if not this exact same ensemble, doing The Other Night Blues and Walking and Crying. The master numbers here indicate, as do some discographies, that this must be a different session, although similar in concept, instrumentation, and perhaps also personnel. So we're going to jump to these two tracks, The Other Night Blues and Walking and Crying.
All right. darling, darling. Babe, I held you in my arms. Well, you told me that you love me, and no one else could do me no harm. Well, you told me a lie, babe, and you told me goodbye. Oh, you told me a lie, darling, and you told me goodbye. Well, now it's all your worry, baby, and you have no need to cry. When I first met you, you said you would be mine. I found out later that you was telling me a lie. And now I'm walking and crying. You don't love me no more. Well, I did all for you, did all I could. All I did, darling, didn't do me no good. And now I'm walking and crying. You don't love me no more. Now it's one thing that I just can't stand. Can't stand to see you around with another man. Because I'm walking and crying. You don't love me no more. Now I'm going on my way. I know you don't love me now, darling, but you will someday. Because I'm walking and crying. You don't love me no more.
The third recording session for B.B. King and our third session for Phineas Newborn Jr. Two sessions actually held virtually adjacent in probably the fall of 1950. Earlier, we heard The Mistreated Woman and the BB Boogie. In this coupling, we heard The Other Night Blues and Walkin' and Crying. The significant portion of the guitar work, again, to these ears sounds to be Calvin Newborn. Tuff Green on bass, drummer. Some names have been suggested over the years. There's a possibility and even a likelihood it might be Phineas and Calvin's father, Phineas Newborn Sr. So it's B.B. King, vocal and conceivably some guitar, Phineas Newborn Jr. on piano, Calvin Newborn on guitar, Tuff Green on bass, and a drummer who might be the father, Phineas Newborn Sr., B.B. King. His third record date and the third go-round with Phineas Newborn Jr. And they were recording together, working together. It's amazing, isn't it? Phineas Newborn Jr. on piano with B.B. King. We're not ready yet to leave B.B. King, although he did then make some record dates away from Phineas Newborn Jr. They made one more side together that we've been able to document, and it's a track called She's Dynamite, recorded in May of 1951 by B.B. King, with a listed personnel that has Richard Sanders in the reeds and the Newborns, Phineas Newborn Jr. on piano, Calvin Newborn on guitar, and Phineas Newborn Sr. on drums. A second saxophone joins, and there are two guitars apparently B.B. is playing on this. Maybe we ought to think about Phineas's playing some reeds on this, but we'll have to think about that, and not really suggest it yet. She's Dynamite. Speaking of suggestions, I need to point this out, although I understand your enthusiasm. This station has absolutely no office services. There's no one here except me, and even if it was 9 a.m. on a Monday morning, it likely would be exactly the same. Calling the station is going to be somewhat frustrating for you, because if I do answer the phone, you'll probably have rung it 100 times or so, and you are unlikely to get any information that will be useful to you, but you might just distract me at an appropriate time that I break a rare 78, or play the wrong record, or take KCR off the air, or fail to make a repair. I'm trying to get something ready so you can hear Phineas Newborn Jr.'s first recording as a leader. It's because of the equipment here, and I'm alone, I have to jerry-rig a second room and be broadcasting from two places at the same time. And also I have to prepare this fragile recording that is obviously damaged and not going to be completely repaired. In other words, I'm busy. And you're busy too. And we are actually working on the same thing, and we will work together. But we can't do it now. We can't do it by phone now under any circumstances. So I'm directing you to stop calling the station to the best of my power. I can't stop you from calling the station, but it's unlikely I'm going to answer the phone. It's impossible for me to tell you exactly to the minute, or even within the hour, even within the half day, when a certain track is going to be played. I can't go looking up things that we've played before or predict the future. I do have a wealth of information about these four artists, and I'm more than willing to share it with you for free, but not now. So if you could write me, send a self-addressed stamped envelope, and include your phone number, so I'll either call you or write you back, depending on what's easiest or best. And I'll take care of the information as best I can. That's all I can say. So the radio station's address, it's WKCR, Columbia University, New York, New York, 10027. That's WKCR, Columbia University, New York, New York, 10027. You can mark it to my attention. My first name is Phil, P-H-I-L. P as in Peter, H as in Howard, I as in Ike, L as in Love. My last name is spelled S as in Sam, C as in Charlie, H as in Howard, A as in Aaron, A as in Aardvark, P as in Peter. Phil Schapp. And I'm here at WKCR, Columbia University, New York, New York, 10027. Attention, Phil Schapp. And put in a self-addressed stamped envelope and your phone number and your inquiry. And after this festival and everything is calmed down, I will either write to you or call you and answer your question, or tell you that I can't answer your question. But I can't answer your question now. I see that, thankfully, that the phones have stopped ringing. I guess most of you were calling while I was talking, realized there's no one else here to answer it anyway, so there's no way I'm going to answer the phone while we're on the air talking. And while the records are playing, I can't answer the phone because I'm busy. So please don't call the station until Thursday. let's say. And our festival continues to Wednesday night at 10 p.m. I'm sorry we had to use up some time for that, but it's frustrating. Remember, I do have to answer the phone. It might be an emergency concerning the station. It might be my relief trying to get in the building, which is locked up on a Sunday. So you're putting me in an embarrassing situation. I have to answer the phone, and then I have to be discourteous to you. I'd rather that we just limit the phone calls to none and correspond and talk later. Again, you can write any question concerning our Lost Masters Festival, WKCR, Columbia University, New York, New York, 10027. Attention, Phil Schaap. My name is spelled Philschaap. Phil Schaap. That's P as in Peter at the end, or P as in Philip. And we're now going back to our last recording of B.B. King with Finest Newborn Jr., recorded in May of 1951. It's called She's Dynamite.
Last night, she's dynamite. She's dynamite. She knows what to do and she knows what it's all about. Now, men don't blame me, she lost out been around. I don't understand what she's putting down. She's dynamite. She's dynamite. She knows what to do and she knows what it's all about. Now she don't drink liquor and a very little gin, but she'll show you how if you just tell her when. She's dynamite. She's dynamite. She knows what to do and she knows what it's all about. Love me She carries a bullhound, pistol, knife, and a razor too. You don't tell her nothing, she'll always tell you she's dynamite. She's dynamite. She knows what to do and she knows what it's all about. Now you can whip it, whop it, or hang it on the wall, or throw it out the window, she'll pitch herself a ball. She's dynamite. Yeah, she's dynamite. She knows what to do, she knows what it's all about.
You just heard She's Dynamite, May 1951 recording. B.B. King, using once again the Newborn family. Finest Newborn Jr. on piano, a man listed as Richard Sanders. B.B. calls something that may be rich for the tenor solo. There's drums of Finest Newborn Sr. and guitar of Calvin Newborn, B.B. King, vocal and guitar. She's Dynamite, May 1951. You're listening to the sounds of jazz, and you're hearing the music of Finest Newborn Jr. You're also hearing a great deal of blues history in the early recordings of B.B. King. We're playing Finest Newborn Jr., remarkable pianist born in Memphis, December 14th of 1931. He died recently on May 26th of 89. He is one of the wonderments of our time, a keyboard wizard, a down-home player in the blues who has some Tatum-like technique and does some brilliant things. And we're celebrating him by reliving his musical career and hearing the wonderment that is Finest Newborn Jr. The complete discography, his recordings in chronological sequence, his discography, surprisingly to some people's way of thinking of it, begins with a whole batch of B.B. King 78s. Miss Martha King, When Your Baby Packs Up and Goes, their first record, both of them, 1949, two sessions from 1950, and finally one more from May of 51, which you just heard, called She's Dynamite. And the best thing about it from our perspective of Finest Newborn Jr. is that there's audible Finest at all times and solos, brilliant solos. Boogie Woogie, King he was. Jamil Nasser called that one right yesterday during the interview as a keynote to the history of Finest Newborn Jr. It's the Lost Masters Festival. Phil Schapp with you on WKCR FM New York, 89.9 on the dial. And we're going to continue with Finest Newborn Jr. and still hear some more of these blues sides. There aren't any more left, however, with B.B. King. Here's another session from May of 1951 that has Finest Newborn Jr. with a man whose name may have been Luther Steinberg, and who is billed, I believe, on the label as Lou Sargent. There's Luther Steinberg, a.k.a. Lou Sargent, trumpet. Tot Randolph is listed as a saxophonist. Then there's Finest Newborn Jr. on piano. Wilbur Steinberg, who is sometimes known as Les Mitchell. I'm not quite sure exactly what the deal is here. He's listed as the bass player and one of the singers, if not the only singer, or voice, if you will. It's really more a band side here. And a man listed as Jeff Grier on drums. The Lou Sargent May 1951 date that produces something called Ridin' the Boogie that lets us hear the boogie woogie of Finest Newborn Jr. one more time. Well, you just heard something called Ridin' the Boogie, listed under Lou Sargent's name. There are obviously some uncredited players on this, or in any case, the real story is that you get some Finest Newborn Jr. doing some boogie-woogie piano under the trumpeter Lou Sargent, a.k.a. or proper name Luther Steinberg. Pickup jump boogie date in Memphis in May of 1951. Jeff Grier on drums, Les Mitchell, a.k.a. Wilbur Steinberg, bass. Finest Newborn Jr. on piano. The saxophone, Tot Randolph. There's another reed in there, too, and Luther Steinberg on trumpet. Billed as Lou Sargent on the 78. You're listening to the earliest recordings of Finest Newborn Jr. We're hearing them in the order he made them. His early discography is filled up with the blues, some jumping music from Memphis. We've heard the sessions with B.B. King. We're now hearing some far more obscure items. But there is Finest Newborn Jr., very obvious and out in the open taking solos. We have a July 1951 side now called Tuckered Out, and it features Jackie Brenston as the leader and vocalist. There are horns on this, and there is Phineas Newborn Jr. on piano, his brother Calvin Newborn on guitar, and the father Phineas Newborn Sr. on drums. This is called Tuckered Out, and it's from July of 1951.
Stayed and danced till oh so late, around 12 o'clock, thereabout. I said, let's go, I'm tuckered out. I'm tuckered out, so tuckered out, all tuckered out. Let's go, baby, I'm tuckered out. My gal took me home in a brand new shirt. Took a doggone time, said there wasn't any hurry. She took the door in this longest route. Will you hurry up? I'm all tuckered out. I'm tuckered out. All tuckered out. So tuckered out. Hurry up, baby, I'm tuckered out. My feet was aching, my back was breaking, in general I was tired. My girlfriend, she's so powerfully stout, maybe that's why I'm tuckered out. We got home, got to her door, she wanted me to stay and talk some more. I didn't know nothing to talk about. Will you go in the house? I'm all tuckered out. I'm tuckered out, all tuckered out, so tuckered out. Go in the house, I'm tuckered out. Breaking back and aching feet, don't know when I felt so beat. Tied from my head down to my toes, my feet are getting tighter, and only God knows. I'm tuckered out, all tuckered out, so tuckered out. Go in the house, honey, I'm all tuckered out.